Alright, good morning from Austin. This morning we're going to go over a tune, and I'm going to use some technique included in this. We're going to use this tune to build on some techniques. So the tune is Bile Them Cabbage Down, about as straightforward a tune as there is. That's the tune, and we're going to use that very simple tune to build on some techniques that are going to help you. I'm going to do it in the key of A. So before you get started, you may want to get a practice your A scale. Actually, every note we're going to play pretty much is going to be on the A or the E string way up here, so you can just get your 1 octave A scale, starting with the open string. Just get that down and get that in your fingers, because that's where every note that will, until we get to some of the other things, but most all the notes are centered around that scale. So let's start with the right hand. Most everything we're going to do in this lesson is going to be this very, very important picking pattern: down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. Get that in your head and your finger, your hand, your right hand. Down, down, up, 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 down. That picking pattern should be able to, you want it to become second nature. There's a lot of the picking that's done on the mandolin, and the guitar for that matter, uses that picking pattern. So get that picking pattern down. Once you have that, let's just go through the basic melody. It's 4, this is all on the A string. 4, 5, 4, 2, 4, 5, 4, 2, open. 4, 5, 4, 2, 4, 5, 4, 2, open. So get that down, because that's the basic melody, and we're going to, build around that melody with that right hand that we just went over. So the first little lesson we're going to do is going to be using drones. If you remember right, any major chord is made up of 3 notes in its scale. So the key of A, there's the A scale, and the A chord is made up of the 1, the 3, and the 5. So those 3 notes are what make up an A chord. So the nice thing in playing in the key of A on the mandolin is both of the high strings, the A string and the E string, are both in that, they're the 3rd and the 5 in the A scale, so they can be used to drone. So it's going to sound like this. If you notice, I'm using the same exact picking pattern, I'm just picking a different string. So the down by itself, so it's down, down, up is the picking pattern. The down and the down up is always on the A string, and the down up is always on the E string. So I've taken that initial pattern and I've changed it to this. And then I use the same melody as I used before. doing that you can do to make it a little bit different is when you get to the 4 chord, the D chord, that E note is not in that D. It isn't in the D chord. It doesn't sound discordant to use that open E while you're on the D chord, the delta chord, but you can do it this way. And all I'm doing instead of doing an open E is I've got my index down on the 2nd fret of the E, which is an F sharp, which is in the D chord. And either way works. Now here's the other way. And you might want to practice both of those just to get a feel for those two different ways of playing it. So now we have two different ways we can do the song. Second way. So now let's do it with hammer-ons. So before every note, I'm going to come up from the lower note. Watch my left hand here. So the first set is, I'm striking open, but I'm hammering down on that 4. Then the second note, I'm going from 4 to 5, hammering on. And then back to open to 4, then open to 2. Back to open to 4, then 4 to 5. And then open to 2, open to 4, open to 2. So it sounds like this. Whoops, sorry again. Let's do that first hammer on instead of going open to 4. Let's do it 2 to 4. So it's 2 to 4, 4 to 5, 2 to 4, open to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 5, 2 to 4, open to 2, open. Again. So that's good for the hammer-on. Hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides are all important for two reasons. One, they help you, it's something that your left hand can do to make your right hand not have to work so hard. And it also, it makes the voice of the mandolin sound more like the human voice, which you've probably heard me say before is the most perfect musical instrument that is and that ever will be. And so, especially the slides, which we'll get to next. So anyway, let's get to the slides. So in this case, we're going to, instead of hammering on, we're going to slide. Let's see how we're going to do that. Yeah, let's slide up each time. One thing about a slide is you have one of two choices always on a slide. You're either going to start with a finger in an odd position, or you're going to end with a finger in an odd position. In other words, as I've been playing this so far, I always use my middle finger to end up on the 4th fret. So I'm either going to start with my middle finger on the 2nd fret to slide into it, or I'm going to use my index finger, which is on the 2nd fret, which is its normal position. I'm going to slide up to 4 to end out of position with my index. And for this exercise, we're gonna use on this first slide. We're gonna use the middle finger. Although you can practice it either way. So this is how it's gonna sound with slides. So I'm sliding up to the note every time. So I'm sliding, starting with my middle finger on 2. And I'm kind of slurring, almost a double stop here. I'm not really trying to differentiate between the picking on the A string or the E string. I'm using that E string as kind of a drone, almost striking them both together. So this first slide is from 2 to 4. Second slide from 4 to 5, and I'm going to keep my middle finger down to do that slide. And when we slide to 2, you're going to start with your finger on the nut. And slide to 2. And that feels a little unusual, but it makes it more human voice sounding. So let's go through it. So now what have we done? We've come up with 4 different ways, and we're not done yet, of how to play Bile Them Cabbage Down. The first way, second way with drone. Second hammer on. Again. Then the slides. So there's a bunch of different ways, each way doing something different. Almost every case, my right hand is doing basically the same thing, although some cases it may be incorporating the E string. Anyway, there's some more. That's 14 minutes. That should be enough to keep you busy for a while. So give those a try. That last little bit I was just doing some kind of fiddling around, as it were, to show you that you can continue to expound on this. But there are words. It's Bile them cabbage down, boys, bake them biscuits brown, boys. There ain't no song that I can't sing but bile them cabbage down. Bile them cabbage down, boys, bake them biscuits brown, boys. Ain't no song that I can sing but bile them cabbage down. There you go. And you can look on the internet because there are more words. Anyway, play with that a little bit. Bye.